First at noon, for decades, it was the unthinkable, a U.S. president shaking hands with the president of Cuba in their island nation. This meeting with Raul Castro now marking a new chapter in U.S.-Cuba relations. We have CBS 4 News' extensive coverage of the president's historic visit to Cuba. The president pledging that change will happen in Cuba and saying that he will listen to its people.
Our own Elliott Rodriguez is in Havana. He joins us now. Elliott, can you give us some of your perspective?
Well, Walter and Vanessa, I can tell you that on my way here to the CNN Bureau in Old Havana, we went through the streets of the city and we saw people lining up. They were excited and they could not wait for the opportunity to see President Obama's motorcade coming from the U.S. diplomatic residence to the Palace of the Revolution, where he is meeting right now with Raul Castro. I haven't talked to a single person here who says this is a bad idea, who thinks that this will not be positive for Cuba. Even many of the dissidents that I've talked to have said that changes are needed on this island, but they see this as a golden opportunity for some of those changes to happen. They acknowledge these are not going to be quick changes, but it's going to take a while. President Obama right now is meeting with Raul Castro, but earlier this morning, he began his day with a ceremony at a memorial for Cuban patriot Jose Marti. The president was accompanied by Cuban officials, and everyone stood at attention as the U.S. and Cuban national anthems were played. At one point, the president laid a wreath at the Jose Marti Memorial. He then headed to the Palace of the Revolution, where he met with Cuban leader Raul Castro. The two leaders exchanged pleasantries, and through an interpreter, Mr. Obama told Castro his family enjoyed their tour of Old Havana last night despite the rain that fell. The president arrived yesterday late afternoon, approximately 4:45, and a drizzle fell, then it rained heavier. The first family then enjoyed a dinner last night at a privately owned restaurant. They're called Paladars here in Cuba. Paladares, these are privately owned small businesses. And let me tell you, that is a major focus of the president's initiative and the visit, promoting private enterprise here on this island. And to that end, a short while ago, I talked to two prominent Cuban Americans who are here from South Florida. They are both supporters of the new policy and hopeful that changes will come.
It's emotional. It is emotional because I have no business interests in Cuba. I have no intentions of doing business in Cuba, but I do see the hope of the Cuban people.
I felt happiness to be back in the land of my birth, my parents' birth, my ancestors. This is a beautiful country.
All right, those two Cuban Americans, Mike Fernandez, a very successful healthcare executive in South Florida, and Carlos Gutierrez was the U.S. Commerce Secretary under President George W. Bush. He's a lifetime Republican who said that he has changed his opinion, his ideas, his support for the former policy of the United States, which was to isolate Cuba, not to have diplomatic relations, not to talk to the Cuban people, to the Cuban government, pardon me, and also not to allow Americans to travel, the travel ban that's been in effect for so many years. Here are two prominent Cuban Americans who say the time is ripe for change, and they will be participating later today with Cuban American entrepreneurs. Now, yesterday, we heard a very different message and we saw very different scenes, but this is also playing out in Cuba. Take a look at this video out of Miramar, the neighborhood in Cuba where the Ladies in White held an event yesterday. Now, not too far from the church where they attended Palm Sunday Mass, the ladies were confronted with a pro-government mob. Now, here's the situation, and this happens every Sunday here in Havana. The Ladies in White, this is a dissident group that represents women who have family members who have been imprisoned by the Cuban government. They attend Mass at the church, the Santa Rita Church. After that, they march through Miramar, and then they end up in an area where there are pro-government supporters. Yesterday, they laid themselves on the ground, and then they were confronted by the pro-government people, both sides shouting at each other. The police finally came out, and they carted the Ladies in White away in a bus. The bulk of them were taken in a bus, and about 5 of them were taken in police cars. They were taken away. Some of the members of the Cuban government that I talked to say this is for their safety. Others say this is to quell this very passionate scene. But this happens every week there as the Ladies in White march. Their message, of course, is that Cuba needs to address the issue of human rights. And to that end, Berta Soler, who is the leader of the Ladies in White, she has been invited to meet with President Obama tomorrow when the president meets with dissidents here on the island.